the DJI Neo 2 might be one of the best beginner drones you can buy right now. And I mean that it fits in your pocket. Palm takeoff, propeller guards, LiDAR obstacle avoidance, AI tracking, gesture controls, 4K at 100 frames per second for around $200. It is genuinely impressive what DJI packed into something this small, and it feels almost impossible to crash. Like, that protective cage gives it this tank-like quality that makes you feel like nothing can go wrong. You bounce it off a tree, like, where it keeps flying. You clip a branch, it shakes it off. That durability is real. Like, one reviewer put it through 200 plus crash scenarios across forest trails and cliff sides, and it kept coming back. Yeah, so yes, the Neo 2 is robust, it is beginner friendly, it is fun, but there are still mistakes that can end your experience on day one. Some cost you footage, some cost you signal, some cost you the entire drone permanently, and the scary part is none of these are obvious until they happen to you. So let's go through all 10. No generic drone advice, real mistakes people are making right now with the Neo 2. Mistake 1, flying over water like it's safe. This is the one that hurts people the most, and I understand why it happens. The Neo 2 looks perfect for water shots. Beaches, lakes, boating clips. Yeah, you've seen the footage online. It looks cinematic, it looks effortless, and it is dirt until it isn't. Here's what actually happens. When you hover low over water in a tracking mode, the downward sensors can get confused by light reflecting off the surface. The drone starts misjudging its own altitude. It thinks it's higher than it is, so it slowly descends. Not suddenly, not dramatically, just a slow, quiet drift downward, and by the time you notice, it's too close to recover. There's a documented real-world case of this exact scenario: slow bike follow, stable tracking, a gentle descent toward water during the shot. The drone hit the surface. The pilot fished it out, dried it, disassembled the screen to clean out the water. Miraculously, it survived. Most don't get that second chance. And here's what makes water worse than anything else. On land, you crash into grass, into dirt, into a bush. You pick the drone up and fly it home. Over water, if you lose connection while the drone is hovering, it may just sit there waiting. And if the battery drains while it's waiting, it lands into the water, and then it was gone. Stay higher over water than you think you need to. And if you're new to the Neo 2, avoid low altitude water shots entirely until you really understand how this drone behaves. Mistake 2, not activating DJI Care refresh. This one sounds boring, I know, but every experienced pilot will tell you the same thing. You don't think you need it until the exact moment you do. The important detail most beginners miss: there is a limited activation window after you purchase the drone. You can't wait until after the first accident. Once that window closes, it closes, and with how portable the Neo 2 is, tight spaces, near trees, near water, indoors, on trips, statistically something eventually goes wrong. Activate it before your first flight, not after your first crash. Mistake 3, trusting obstacle avoidance too much. This is the mistake the Neo 2 practically invites you to make, because the obstacle avoidance is actually good, sometimes genuinely impressive. You do a few follow shots. The drone ducks under a branch, navigates around a tree, reacquires you after a sharp turn. Your brain processes this as the drone handles it. And that's where the problem starts, because obstacle avoidance is not magic. Thin branches, wires, fast direction, changes in complex environments. These systems can still fail. In one real tracking test, a slow follow shot around a thick pole ended with the drone hitting it and going into the water at low speed during a casual follow. The avoidance simply didn't catch it. The rule experienced pilots follow. Tracking modes are assistance features, not autopilot. The moment you stop watching the drone because you think it's managing everything, that's the moment the risk goes up. It's always when you stop paying attention. Mistake 4. Using phone control in the wrong situation. One of the best things about the Neo 2 is that you can fly it with just your phone. No controller needed for quick casual shots close to you. I guess it's genuinely great. The mistake happens when confidence grows and you start pushing range further and further while still relying on the phone. Signal issues with phone-only control happen earlier than most beginners expect. And losing signal with a tiny drone that visually disappears at distance is a completely different experience to losing signal with a larger drone. The panic sets in fast. You start making random inputs. You cancel the return to home. You run around trying to reconnect. If you plan to fly any real distance, especially near obstacles or water, use the RCN3 controller. The range extension is not a minor upgrade. It changes the safety profile of the entire flight. Mistake 5, flying in wind because it feels stable. This one fools people every time, including people who should know better. You watch the drone hold position in the wind, it looks steady, it looks in control, so your brain concludes it's fine. What you are not seeing is what the drone is doing to maintain that position. The motors are working significantly harder, the drone is tilting at a steep angle just to hold still, and battery drains dramatically faster than in calm conditions. Real numbers. In a wind test with gusts between 40 and 50 kilometers per hour, battery was already at 45% after just 7 minutes of filming. That's a 13-minute maximum before the drone can't make it back. In those conditions, flying toward a point you'd need to return from upwind becomes genuinely dangerous. There's another trap inside this one. Ground level can feel completely calm, while conditions higher up are entirely different. You launch in what feels like a mild breeze. You fly out with tailwind assistance, so the flight out feels easy. Then you turn around to come back and suddenly the drone is fighting to make headway. Stable doesn't mean safe. It means it's struggling. When winds are serious, fly low. The closer to the ground, the lower the wind speed. And if it's bad enough that the drone is tilting heavily just to hold position, that's the day you stay home. Mistake 6, overconfidence in tracking modes at speed. Active track on the Neo 2 is capable. At 12 meters per second tracking speed, around 43 kilometers per hour, it can keep up with cyclists and runners. The mistake is assuming that speed capability means reliability at speed. Tracking can and does fail mid-flight, especially in complex environments with multiple obstacles, fast direction changes, or subjects that move out of the camera frame unexpectedly. When tracking fails at high speed, the drone doesn't have the same recovery time it would at walking pace. The margin for error compresses. Use tracking modes, enjoy them. They're one of the best things about this drone, but match the environment to the mode. Open field, predictable path, go for it. Tight trail, unpredictable movement, obstacles in every direction. Be ready to take manual control the moment something looks wrong. Mistake 7, misjudging the real battery life. DJI advertises 18 to 19 minutes of flight time. That number is measured in a lab. No wind, Flying forward at 2 meters per second, camera and photo mode, not recording video. Ideal conditions you will almost never fly in. Real world flight time with the Neo 2, with movement, wind, and video recording active, is closer to 11 to 15 minutes. In windy conditions, as we covered, it can be less. The mistake beginners make is planning shots based on the advertised number. You budget 18 minutes, you get 12. You're mid-shots when the critical battery warning triggers the auto return, and now you're rushing a landing on whatever surface is below you. Plan around 12 minutes of usable flight. Set your return warning generously, and don't treat the low battery alert as the signal to start heading back. By then, you're already late. One extra tip, if you're flying with the propeller guards on, and as a beginner you probably should be, those add weight and reduce efficiency slightly. They are worth having for protection. Just factor them into your flight time expectations. Yeah, mistake 8. Filling internal storage without noticing. Yeah, this sounds like a minor inconvenience. It is not. The Neo 2 has no microSD card slot. Everything records to internal storage. You get around 49 gigabytes, which sounds like enough, and it is for most outings exams, but it fills up faster than people expect, especially at 4K high frame rates. The classic scenario, you're on a trip, you've been flying for 3 days and recording everything. Day 4, the perfect shot appears. You launch the drone, you hit record, nothing records. Storage is full, and there's no quick fix in the field. No card to swap. You have to offload footage before you can fly again. Check your storage before every flight, not once a week. Before every flight. It takes 3 seconds, and it's the kind of thing that sounds obvious until the day you skip it. Mistake 9, using gesture control in the wrong conditions. Gesture control on the Neo 2 genuinely feels like the future. Raise your fist, the drone activates. Open your hand, it follows your movement. It's impressive when it works. When it doesn't work, it's frustrating at best and risky at worst. Bright sunlight creates contrast issues that confuse the gesture recognition. Busy backgrounds with multiple moving elements make it harder for the drone to isolate your hands reliably. Crowded scenes can produce delayed responses or responses to the wrong input entirely. The dangerous version of this, you try to gesture the drone away from an obstacle. The recognition is slow. The drone doesn't respond in time. Gesture control is excellent for relaxed situations and good conditions, clean background, decent light, calm environment. Don't rely on it as your primary control method in any situation where you need precision or speed. Mistake 10, treating the Neo 2 like a toy. Save this one for last because it's the most honest thing I can say about this drone. The Neo 2 is designed to feel accessible. It's small, it fits in your hand. Palm takeoff, gesture control, AI tracking. Every feature is designed to remove friction and make flying feel effortless. And it works. It genuinely feels effortless. That's the danger. Because slowly, without realizing it, people stop treating it like an aircraft. They stop checking the environment before takeoff. They stop watching it while it tracks. They stop thinking about wind. They stop checking battery. They stop planning what happens if something goes wrong. And that moment, the moment you stop respecting the drone, is almost always when things go wrong. Most Neo 2 crashes don't happen because the drone failed. They happen because the pilot assumed everything was under control right before it wasn't. The Neo 2 earns your trust. Just don't let that trust become complacency. If you own a Neo 2 or you're planning to buy one, go through that list. Most of these take 30 seconds to fix. The storage check, the DJI Care activation, the flight time math, small habits that make the difference between a drone that lasts and one that doesn't. And if you want to go further, the video that pairs with this one is already on the channel. 10 things you should do before your very first flight with the Neo 2. That's where this one ends and the next one begins. See you in the next one.